Well, welcome back to another episode of Stay Focused. I'm Artie Delgado, cinematographer, Steadicam operator, director, and producer. And beside me is Jordan Keith. What a great time. Are you having a good time?
Having a great time, and I'm also wearing a shirt with my own name on it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And that's okay.
Feeling good.
That's okay.
You're
allowed to do that.
Thank you.
Yes, we are having just a fantastic time doing these. Thank you guys for all your support, for you guys continuously watching these. Once again, it's unbelievable on the amount of people that are coming to us regularly and just saying what an impact they have been. And I'm honored that they're making a difference. So we're going to keep going strong. And anytime that you guys, again, this is for you, really. This is for you, just to share our experiences within the field. Throw us questions. You know what I mean? Throw us questions about what you guys may have wanting concern about what we're doing. How did we do something, or even just something that you may have issues with? Let us help. I mean, that's really what this is really community to be able to do. So that is really what we are here to do. I want to actually start today's episode really by thanking the people behind this making this whole thing process happen. Behind, if you guys don't know, there's a number of people in this room, but really these are the guys that have really helped make this whole thing process. It's guys like Jordan. I've got Jeff De La Cruz behind me. I've got Chris Johnson back here. We got Johnny back in the room. We've had Frank Garcia in the place. We've had just so many different people involved. Kasim has been here to help.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing some BTS stuff.
Yeah.
And just all of the guys that will continue to help, because there will be more. And those are the guys that are really behind the cameras, behind the audio gear, behind setting the light up in this place, and really the dedication. Man, they're doing this kind of on their own time.
Yeah.
And really the really big reason why they're doing it is because they see the vision and they see the support and they love being part of it. So I want to say to you guys, just thank you, put you guys on a platform to say that we could not do this without all of you guys. So thank you for that, and for you guys to understand that there is a thing that you need to think about, is that team play is huge in this industry. And that is what I've learned, and I'm still learning. And that is why we are able to create these as well as they have been. It's because we have a great team, and I have a great team behind me. So I believe they're the best team in the whole wide world, but I thank you guys for that. So thanks for all of the support that you guys have been doing. We have been pretty busy these last few weeks. Yeah. We have constantly been doing some new things. We've been riding some helicopters. We've been traveling a little bit. We've gone out of town. But this week we had something very special happen this week. We got asked to come to Colton Middle School and come speak and present to them for a career day opportunity. Yeah. I wanted to kind of make this today be a little conversation about that, because there was so much learning that we got out of this. Oh yeah. And there's so much learning that you can gain out of this. Sure. And it's about putting yourself in front of an audience, putting yourself on a stage, and what it can do for you. Right. But let's just talk a little bit about the actual. Yeah. How did it? I went, but I don't even know how we got it. Yeah. To be honest. That's good. It's all about relationship based. Yeah. This whole industry is about relationships. It's been about people that I've worked with in the past. But shout out to Erica Anaya, who actually we've worked with the city of Fontana. Mm-hmm. She's actually a beauty pageant winner. And she actually works for the school district. Yeah. And she actually had asked us, saying, hey, I believe in what you guys did for that project. Believe and watch all you guys do. I'm a fan of what you guys do. We would love for you to come down and speak to the school. Cool. And so that's where that came to be. And it was about a relationship that I had built. Yeah. And it came, 360 around much later, a year later. And we got asked, and so I was honored to come do that. Yeah. But the real biggest thing was not about just coming in, because I could have just done that by myself. Sure. Go speak real quick and be done. What I decided to do was saying, let's bring the team in on this. Let's bring everybody involved. Let's not do this just by myself. Let's not have me come and speak. Let's actually have everybody come together and show this. So before we go any further, let's take a moment and take a look at a recap that we did from this day to show you what took place, and we'll talk more about that. Take a look. Today we're over here at Colton Middle School, and been an exciting opportunity to share with students just why we got into what we do and to share how we got here. Just kind of tell you a little bit my background and where I got into, how I got into this industry, okay? I've been in the industry for about 10 years as a total, but before that, going through high school and through college, I was a big fan of music.
How many of you guys are a fan of music? Huh? Oh, I can see it on her face. She smiled right. I see it.
But we want them to know that they can pursue whatever it is that they set their mind to. And I really, really love the message that Blink provides to the community. So I really am so excited and honored that you guys would come down and talk to us.
You think they said, Justin, hey, here's a film career. Here you go. You want it? No. Right? I don't think that happens too often. Do you think that took hard work, some dedication, maybe some late nights studying? Do you think that took a lot of practice to get to where we're at? I did not go to film school. I learned it for myself, but it doesn't mean that I didn't put in the work, the time, the work ethic, the ability of studying. I did all that on my own just to get to where we're at.
Man, I love that. I love that recap. That day was so fun. What was some of your favorite parts of that day specifically? I mean, some memorable moments that we had.
Yeah, that day was, again, I think there's something sentimental about it more than other. And I'll get into why it was so sentimental, but there were some special moments of that. I think really the thing was being able to do a team building together.
Yeah.
Being able to create something that I didn't have to do by myself. I was able to do it as a team. And one of the most memorable moments was really just seeing how those kids light up. I mean, the fact that they were so engaged.
Yeah,
they were so into the questions they were asking. They wanted to know so many things about it. And it was like, it's kind of something special when you are seeing young people really excited to want to do what you're doing.
Sure.
It made me feel like, okay, we're doing something right, but it's just neat to see that you have the attention of young people.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big moment for me.
Right.
I loved doing that. And this was also one of my most special moments was we had Josh, who was our intern.
Yeah.
One of our interns who had been trying to get set up. He came all the way from San Diego and was going to be coming out with us. And his first day interning with us, and he handled it great.
Yeah.
I mean, he took the challenge and he spoke in front of the kids. But what was most memorable about that moment was the kids were able to engage with him because he was only a couple of years older than them kids. I mean, these are middle school kids. He's just out of high school.
Yeah.
They almost could relate to him more than they could us.
Definitely.
And the reason why was because he's within reach.
Yeah.
They're thinking, look at this guy's only a few years older than me, and he's hanging with these guys doing what he wants to do and dreaming, and he's out chasing his dream.
Yeah.
And I think that was the
Super
most
cool.
thing. Yeah, that was really cool to see Josh just do that, and just to see young leadership like him just taking that on, and that felt good.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the most memorable moments for me. How about you? What did you experience?
Well,
from
we
that?
did. I mean, you spoke about your story and how Brink started, and you gave the whole background and your accident and all that stuff, and they were really engaged with that for sure. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I love doing the workshop thing that we did with them. So we brought out some cameras and tripods and some of our gear, and we basically just staged a scene and had the class participate, and we had a couple actors and stuff like that. But we also had them just really pay attention to what we were doing as a team. Right. I thought they were super intrigued by that, and they were really involved. So that was cool.
Yeah, that was great. It was the ability of saying, because they were Erica, when she was asking, just come and speak and real quick. My whole thing was I wanted to be something different. I didn't want to just speak and get toned out, because I know what it was like when someone come to speak at my school, how I would easily tone out.
Oh, yeah.
And I know the attention spans now of anybody is just shorter and shorter now. So I wanted to do something that was a little different. So being something engaging and being able to actually see what we do on a regular day basis and see it in action was huge for them.
Yeah,
and
cool.
to be able to we also grabbed, the students themselves, and we had a storyline already built out, and we gave them all characters and gave them lines even. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we had them play characters and just to follow in what we were doing, to follow the crew around was really neat. And they observed that. They really noticed that. It wasn't like, okay, that was fun, just our friends laugh or whatever it was.
Right.
They really observed that opportunity to do that. So that was really, really a good opportunity for us to do.
Yeah.
And a real good, the team was really great about it too. We were able to show right on, they were professional about it. They were showing exactly every role, from the slate to our audio techs, to each camera operator, to the director, to all of everyone that was doing it. We showed them all a little bit of piece of that. And
we all got to speak too. So it was like, hey, I do Slate, and this is what Slate means. And it gave us opportunity, some younger guys too, to just have a platform to just get some experience in public speaking and share your craft. And so I think that meant a lot to some of the students also.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was getting into today's kind of overall or where we're going with what we're learning today is that when you put yourself in front of an audience and you put yourself on a stage platform, that's a tough thing to do.
Oh yeah.
We as media guys or in the film industry, sometimes we get to be on the back end. We get to not have to be in front of the cameras very often.
Right.
But it is a whole different world being here. I mean, even what you've been doing, you've been growing, even just to see what you're doing. This is not easy. It's easier. It looks easier than it is.
Right.
And so by putting yourself in front of an audience and being able to capture the attention of young people with their minds and what it is, that can grow you altogether.
Yeah.
And would you say that that's something did you grow from that opportunity?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've even done a couple of projects we've mentioned since then, or even before then, of like filming myself just doing a speech for a class or something in college, or like I did a fundraising thing, so I filmed myself, and it's definitely different. I mean, and it's good. It's a good thing, but I mean, when you see yourself for the first time, like on an HD camera, or like you hear yourself, then you start to change things, or the way that you talk, or in a good way. I mean, it's so. Yeah, it's definitely an experience for sure.
Yeah, I think it's huge when you're able to, again, see yourself, but to have, like I said, be on the other side of the camera will grow you. Now, to take it into the next level is what we deal with on a regular basis from being a cinematographer on the other side. How are you able to understand what you're looking for to get the actor or the interview? How could you get that out of them if you've never been in that position? That's a good point. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think when the concept of put yourself on stage, put yourself in that position. How often are you doing that if you can't relate to what that feels like to be able to understand? So the next time that you're directing these things, you can actually understand it.
You have a better perspective.
Very good perspective, right?
Yeah.
And you can actually understand what you're looking for. You know how to get out of a person or ask them to give you something because, hey, you've been there.
Yeah.
And that has happened for me for such a long time, being on stage. And so when doing music videos, for an example, I know what I'm looking for because I've been there.
Sure.
I know what it takes to be able to do it. Now, most of those artists already have the ability of doing that because, hey, they're artists.
Yeah.
They know what they're looking for, and that's fantastic. But there are times where you need to get something out of them or make them look good. And how would I know that if I've never been in that position?
Yeah.
So for me, I think that's a huge concept to think about.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we don't think about that enough. And I think that when we say get yourself on stage, put yourself in a position like that.
Right.
Talk about some experiences you had. Put yourself on a stage. Put yourself in front of a camera.
Yeah.
And try something like that and see what it's like for you, so that way you can then coach yourself as a director.
Yeah.
Producer.
So is that one of your main reasons for doing this thing at the school? And did they kind of tell you? Did they give you some insight or some preparation for that?
Yeah, so I'm always looking for opportunities like that,
Right.
because I'm always looking at trying to still grow myself.
Yeah.
I know that these things, every time I do an event like this, it's going to make me better.
Sure.
Some way, somewhere. Preparing for it was getting me better. It's just like prepping for any kind of film set. I've got to prepare in a different way. I've got to prepare notes. I've got to prepare my lesson. I got to prepare how will I keep their attention when this goes this? What am I going to show? And one of the things that you mentioned was, I talked about my accident. And we had talked about this in a few episodes back with my dad.
Right.
This is intriguing to most people.
Oh, yeah.
We've been talking about trying to maybe tell this story eventually, whether it's a documentary or a story film, but it's intriguing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reason why it's so intriguing is because it could happen to anybody at any time, or something that tragic like that has happened to somebody in their family.
Right.
And so you saw, as we were there talking to these kids, it was
They're glued,
dead
bro.
silence, bro.
They're glued
To everything. And then to show images of the car, and to show that you had every one of their attention, and then to say that I shouldn't even be here.
Right.
That was connection to them and some of them. And so, I definitely prepared for it. I had to plan for it, just like any storyboarding script, just like any preparation for any project that we were going to do when we go filming. I had to prep for it.
Yeah.
And I did take a number of days to prep for it, because I wanted to be prepared, because, hey, it's going to make me better. It's going to make me sharper.
Right.
And I've learned even after doing all that prep, this actually has made me very good for prepping us for some of the film shoots, because it made me going, okay, I better make sure that this is not always going to fall into place. Even the classroom we got wasn't what I was told we were going to get.
Yeah,
had to be able to prepare for that, and having extra gear, preparing for extra cables, all these things. Like, you would think, like, all you're doing is speaking in a class. How prepared you got to be?
Yeah.
What makes us good at what we do is we are very prepared,
Right.
and you can't ever forget that. And so this was another practice of that to make me better at what we do and sharper at what we do.
I think some people had some questions on that too, or specifically us going to the school.
We had our filmmakers questions asked from IG, and this one comes from our good friend Derek Morrison. He was part of a company called Quantum Arc
Yeah.
Media, man, out in Las Vegas. So a bunch of great guys out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We've got to spend some time with those guys.
Right.
Saw them at NAB a
Yeah.
while back.
Yeah.
And him and Dustin are doing amazing things out there. So big fans of their stuff as well. But thank you, Derek, for asking. But Derek just kind of comes in here and asks specifically about that, seeing that he watched us at the classroom. He says, with your recent visit to the classroom, how do you see arts and filming being adapted into education? He's saying, is there support in the arts growing again with the advent to YouTube stars and IG stars, etc.?
Got it.
So I think that he's making a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's asking is you got to adapt to the times,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's where we are.
But still maintaining the art.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
That's
think
tough.
about that? I mean, what did you notice what did you feel like we were accepted very well? Did it seem like the kids were really into it? What did you see about that concept?
Yeah, I think I think everyone can relate. I think the students probably related a little bit more to movies or TV. I mean, even though that's true that the YouTube generation is huge too. So I think one of the kids actually asked us, "Are you on YouTube?" I think it was the first question we got asked.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I thought they were definitely engaged and we were relevant.
I love how those stories they tell about the one kid had asked, "Do you have an Instagram?" And we said,
Oh, yeah.
"Yeah." And what was the first thing out of his mouth?
He's like, "You verify?" He's like 10.
So what do you think about that? I mean, you could see
Yeah.
like the mentality of these kids. Like if you're not verified,
They even
if
mess
you're
with
not-
you.
They're not even looking at
That's
your
tough.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that as far as where do you think like art is going? Like I have my opinion on where art is going, and it's starting to get saturated.
A lot of it's saturated. That's what I was
right?
going to say. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on where we're going with that? I mean, with the YouTube
I
thing.
mean, yeah, dude. Even just like this IGTV thing. I mean, you got to adapt. I mean, it's another platform that's opening up, another thing that's trending, and you got to kind of hop in and use it as an avenue to market us and the things that we're doing, and maybe that pushes them to the higher quality things that we get to produce, opposed to a vlog, or not hating on vlogs, but
you got to adapt. I think you said
Yeah.
it right. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things I've had to learn. But as far as his question, I hope that helps, Derek. And thank you so much for that question, because I think that's relevant.
Yeah.
That is today's art. Is the arts being accepted?
yeah. And I think also that it doesn't mean that we need to dummy down our content. I mean, yeah, we might have to put it in platforms that we don't like, or maybe we have to adapt in that way, but we're still pushing out a higher quality. I mean, we still put all the work we would put into a movie that we do like these podcasts.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that is what people might be losing. It's like, oh, I got a lot of followers, I'm on YouTube, so I can just do one little
Yeah.
camera and I'm good. To where us, it's like, we like the art of it, and we like really putting a lot of work into it and a lot of production into it, and you know what I mean? Does
it
that make
stands
sense?
out. It does
Yeah.
make sense. And I think
Yeah.
the other thing too was, is it accepted? I think that what I noticed, and you can vouch for this, I think that we were, out of all the people that were doing it for a career opportunity that were there,
Yeah.
we had one of the best
I loved it.
feedbacks. I mean, we
Yeah.
had the packed classroom. I mean, everybody was devoted to it. Everyone was speaking, and you see people were coming
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah.
classroom.
Other teachers
were coming in, and I think that gives you some idea to that question that Derek is asking: is it being supported?
Right.
Are they? Well, they had us there.
Yeah,
and
they
I
asked
think,
us. They
and
asked-
I think
yeah.
that's what they're getting to the point, realizing like, hey, this is what the kids are interested in. This is where the avenues are going. We need to be showing this education as
Sure.
another world that we need to give it to them,
Yeah.
rather than discovering on our own.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's really huge. I also kind of want to share, just at the end of this whole thing, I have done in the past, I've done some film festivals.
Mm-hmm.
I have won some awards. I have, not saying that I've done it all, but I've done some cool things.
Sure.
But I would have to say that this experience that we had from doing this Colton Middle School was one of the most inspiring events we've ever done.
Definitely.
And also the most rewarding,
Yeah.
as far as things that I've
How
done.
come?
So, and what happened was a few weeks back, right after 2 weeks after we did the event,
Yeah.
we had over 50 letters that were mailed to me that were for each one of these students that were all in one of our classes.
Yeah.
And they all each wrote a letter just expressing they're thankful for us coming, their ability of saying how intrigued they were, how inspiring they were to be actors now, how they want to get into the film industry,
crazy.
how they want to do this. And so for me to get a stack of letters, in fact,
Yeah, pull them out.
I have the stack of letters right here. This is over 50 letters that were all given to me in the mail from just letters of students, full on page, just stating how much they were influenced. I'm going to read one.
Yeah.
See what you think of this. This is just kind of cool. This one is from Destiny. This one just says, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you for being a great speaker at the Colton Middle School Career Day at 2018. I feel grateful that I was able to hear your presentation in my second period AVID class. It was very interesting because I thought about being involved, as we speak about this, I thought about being a YouTuber before your presentation and answered some of my questions. Some of the interesting things were how you sort of found your passion by getting into a car accident. Once again, they caught on to that.
Yeah.
And how your passion getting into that car accident, how you created a company and achieved your goal without going to film school. Another thing is when you showed the class an example on how you made films and some of the ones in the group that helped produce it. The whole presentation was amazing. I hope you enjoyed being here, which is great, and at Colton Middle School. And we hope that you choose to come visit us next year back again.
Girl sounds like she's 40 years old and running for president.
And they're all like that.
Yeah.
So the letters were all like this. They weren't just like dummied down, like, great to have you, awesome. I mean, the stuff that they're in these letters.
Really learning stuff.
And really intrigued. And it really was inspiring to me and I was honored to be able to see that we hit home with some of these kids.
Sure.
This to me, and again, thank you to Erica and Aya. She has no idea what this really did for us, for me personally, but this right here, I would have to say, is one of the best awards I've ever had. And I will cherish that forever. So it makes me want to do more. It makes me just feel like all the hard work is worth it. And the fact that this was asked to do it as an individually, and I said, no, let's do this as a team. Guys, the Brink team has to know this would not have happened if it wasn't for all of you guys coming together and be part of this, because I would have just spoken to them and that would have been it. But we were able to show a team effort, show team play, and I think that's what was really encouraging to a lot of these people. Yeah. So we say, get in front of a stage, put yourself on a platform that's huge. You never know what can come out of it, but it will make you better, right? Yeah. And I think you have to look for those opportunities. Make relationships like we've done. We had to make those opportunities happen. Right. Didn't fall on my plate. This took some time as well. We had to earn our right to be able to be asked to come speak. We had to have some kind of clout, some kind of justification of what we do. And I think we have started to do that, and it's an honor to be asked to doing that. So
awesome.
Guys, do that. As a filmmaker, don't get stuck behind the camera. Don't be stuck on just being able to do it. Know what you have to deal with on the front camera. Get in front of it and get the experience from that first, so that way you know what you can ask people to do in front of your camera. Right. I think that's huge. So hopefully that was helpful today. I know it was a great experience for us. Awesome. We look forward to doing more of that. And thank you again for Colton Middle School, all you guys out there that wrote us these letters. We had an honor being there, and we hope to come back soon. And once again, just to make sure you guys, if you guys want to check out more of our podcasts, you can see them at brinkbaby.com. There you can check out all the past episodes, as well as pick up some Brink gear. We have Brink shirts, Brink sweaters, Brink hoodies, hats, and socks. Don't forget about that. But this allows us to be able to help us with our nonprofit organizations, partners that we work with. And just go out there, support us. We appreciate all those that are continuously buying that. And we love all of you guys, and thank you for supporting us. So we'll see you next time on the Stay Focused podcast.